subscribe, click the bell, then stick around. It's time for Traveling Dubs.
Hey there, Dreadful family. Welcome back. I'm Lindsay. If you're new here, hey, welcome to the Dreadful family. So, have y'all seen the new Double French Ombre nail trend? Well, guess what? I did it with dip powder, and I'm going to show you how I did it today. Let's dip into it. Today we're going to use Dipomania's Tex-sass Fizzt, Blueprint, Bangin', and a magnetic dip powder Crescendo. And you will need some of these little nail stickers. They're called tip guides. You can find these on Amazon. And of course, I will leave all the links and where to find everything down below. All right, so let's get into this. Okay, so we're gonna do with dip powder the gel method. Okay, this is where you take one of your base gels, we're gonna put it on the nail, and we are going to do a regular vertical ombre. So we're gonna split two colors straight down the middle. So we're gonna do Fizzt, which is our lighter orange here, on one side, and we're gonna blend that towards the other side using Tex-sass, which is the darker coral. It's like a neon coral. Okay, and I like to dip my brush into the powder, then do a tap off into the jar, and then go on to the nail. Because if you were to dip your brush in and go straight onto your nail, you're going to have a big old clump of dip powder kind of fall out, and it could just go everywhere and just mess up your ombre, you know, right out of the gate, and we don't want that. Okay, and then I just like to do gentle taps, you know, take your time. You don't want to like hit your brush real hard because you're just going to make all that dip powder fall out everywhere. Okay, and then we want to start, you know, with more of our powder on the outside, less powder on the inside, right? Because this whole technique and the whole cool thing about this, like the visual aspect of it, is getting that ombre really blended down the center of our nail. Okay, and if you notice, I kind of went a little past halfway with my first color. And then I'm going to bring the darker orange or the coral Tex-sass a little bit over towards halfway over onto our Fizzt. I just kind of find that, you know, when you do this method, you know, after you cure it, you come back out and you do the opposite, you know. So next we'll take Tex-sass, we'll go over, or we'll do that first, then we'll bring Fizzt in. And so when you kind of like go back and forth in the middle like that with dip powder, you know, we're trying to get that real nice blend that like a gel polish would have. Alright, so once we're happy with that, we're going to give it a full cook for 60 seconds in our nail lamp. Then we're going to dust off and we're going to repeat the process. Okay, I'm going to do this 3 times. Kind of build up our opacity. This is like a going back and forth method. Okay, so let's start with Tex-sass this time. Lay down a thin layer of our base gel. Alright, and again we're going to dip in, tap off most of that powder, then start on our nail. So we're going to lightly go from the outside towards the middle. We're trying to keep that line as straight as we can, but yet we're just trying to kind of dust it a little bit in the middle to kind of give it that ombre appearance. And if you ever notice that some of the powder, like it's still shiny on the gel, that just means we kind of need a little bit more powder to soak up, you know, get all that gel saturated with powder. So just go back in there. Okay, make sure everything's fully soaked and covered. All right, so this is how we're looking. I love that blend. Okay, let's cook it. And then, all right, so same thing. We're gonna dust off again and let's move on to our third layer. So I'll let you watch this and I'll be right back. Oh, and I wanted to say that if you're doing this on your nail instead of like a press on, it's the same thing. You would just tilt your finger one way, do your color, lightly tap, tilt your finger the opposite way, tap it on the other side. When you're happy, give it a full cook, and then dust off and you're on to the next step. Okay, so we've done 3 full coats. Now here's a part I want to explain. I'm going to go ahead and lay down a thin layer of base gel. We're not going to put any dip powder over it, and I'm going to go ahead and cure it. So the reason that I do this is we need a smooth surface to stick our sticker on, or nail decal, you know, anything like that. So you want to cover that surface, right? Because dip powder is kind of rough. It's kind of bumpy until you file and buff it. You know, it's porous. It's just going to soak up everything. So say if you did not do this step, you go to put your sticker straight onto the dip powder, right? It's rough and your sticker's not going to grab across the whole surface of the nail. So when you go to do your next step, which is our French tip, and you go to apply that gel is going to run up underneath your sticker, or what some people call it's going to bleed. So you're going to think that your line is perfect. You're going to do your dip powder. You're going to rip your sticker off to notice that all that gel is bled up underneath your sticker and your line is not as crisp as you'd like it. So we lay down a base gel, like a base layer. We're going to cure it. I'm going to wipe it off with alcohol pad because it is tacky, and then I'm going to file or buff it a little bit. We want to get that surface as smooth as we can. So by going in here with a buffer, we're not going to hurt our color because we've already covered it up with our base gel. Okay, we want to give it a little light buffing, you know, just something smooth so we can stick our sticker on there and we get that real nice crisp line. After all this hard work and layering, we need that to come out, right? All right, so I'm going to buff. Then we're going to wipe over it one more time with an alcohol pad to get all of the dust and debris away from the nail. And then it's sticker time. Alright, so now it's time to pick out a fun, like, what kind of shape you would like your little smile line to be. So I've done all of these. I actually did a Facebook Live because I was trying to go YouTube Live and I just had some technical difficulties with that. But I will show you at the end of this video what we did on the Facebook Live, and we tried all of these little designs and they all kind of came out really cool. So you don't have to do the curve. Here I'm going to do like this little chevron. Okay. It's just up to you. I mean, play around with it, have fun, create your own design. That's all it's about, right? So we're going to take this little chevron and see how the sticker is kind of thick. I'm going off of the very bottom of this line. That's where I'm counting on my, my little French tip to start. I'm not even looking at the top of that sticker. Okay, you're going to try to line it up in the middle as best you can. And these stickers, they stick pretty good, so you don't have to worry about them lifting. Just give it a good squish. And now we are going to start the process all over again. Okay, we're going to do this 2 or 3 times. But we're going to switch our colors. So this is the main thing, because I have messed up before and you don't want to have to file all that work off. So just make sure that when you go in here, okay, we're going to take our base gel. We're going to start on our sticker. You can go on top of the sticker, just don't go above the sticker, right? Because then we're going to get powder where we don't want it. Okay, and you want to pull down away from your sticker. You don't want to shove the gel up under your sticker the best that you can. Okay, we're going to pull this gel down, and then now we're going to start. So we have Tex-sass as our dark orange, or the coral. We're going to put our light Fizzt color on top of that. Okay, we're going to do the opposite. So now I'm just looking at the tip of my nail. So if it's dark, I know I'm going to go light. Once we flip the nail around, if it's light, we know we need to go dark, right? Okay, same thing. We're going to start from the outside of the nail and feather the powder, towards the middle of the nail. Okay, tap it off, and then let's put some of that Tex-sass on the other side over the Fizzt. Okay, lightly tap all that over, and we're not covering so much of a big surface this time, so it's really not going to take us that long. It seems like a lot of steps, but it's really not. Okay, tap that off, and we're going to give this a full cook again for 60 seconds in our nail lamp. Okay, we're going to do this 2 or 3 more times, however much you need to build up and cover. If you have a really good opaque dip powder, no matter the color, whether it's light or dark, it should cover your colors just fine. So just build those layers up. You could do 2 to 3 dips, you could do less, you could do more, whatever you need to do. Just remember that the more you build this up, there could be like, when you pull your sticker off, there's going to be a little bit of a gap, but I'm going to show you when we come back after you get to watch all this on how we can fix all that. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, we gave that layer a cook for 60 seconds. Now we're back. It's time for the big reveal. So since we didn't bulk up that sticker with a lot of gel, it's really going to come right off there. It's just me trying to get the sticker off. But here we go. Okay, you just want to take it off real nice and slow. And there we go. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? With dip powder, I think it looks great. Just as good as those gel polish ones that we see. Okay, so now so back we did our first layer. We covered it with our base gel, no dip powder. Give it a cure because we need to file it again, right? We want to make it smooth and we want to blend everything together because there's a line there. So let's give it a cook. Let's wipe it off with some more alcohol. And now we need to buff the tip just a little bit because you kind of want to blend that line where our French tip is meeting the rest of our nail. It's not a big difference. I mean, trust me, if it's on your nail and, somebody would have to be super up close to you to be like, oh my gosh, look at that ridge in your nail. It's not that big of a difference. But this would be our end step where you want to, sharpen up your shape, do your free edge, your sidewalls, take a buffing block to the top, blend that French tip to the rest of our nail, and then we're going to matte top coat. I love these matte. You can do shiny, totally personal preference, but I love them matte. I feel like it blends everything together nicely and kind of gives you that, that crazy look that these give you, like that cool optical illusion. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get this wiped off. We're gonna get it matte top coated, and then we're going to go on to something different. So I'm going to try a different design. Same method all around with all of the dipping and the ombreing and the layering, right? But we're going to do a neat little fun design. So I'll be right back. All right, and we gave that matte top coat a full cook of 60 seconds as well. What do we think? Not too shabby, right? I love it. It's great. I love that we can now know that do this with dip powder. You know what I mean? Okay, so now we're going to do the two blues. I've picked out Dipomania's Blueprint, which is our darker blue here, and Bangin', which is kind of like, it looks like blue, but in a way it's kind of like a turquoise blue in person. And I have this kind of sped up. I'm just going to let y'all watch the process, and I figured I didn't want to drag it out too much more from the first one. I think y'all kind of get it, But yeah, so we're going to do the same process. We're going to ombre, the whole thing again. All right, I'm going to let y'all watch this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the only thing that I'm going to do different here is I'm going to take the little curvy strips, and I kind of wanted to do like stripes, but so I'm taking a few different ones, and I'm looking more towards, so I got the two stickers on. I want to paint that middle stripe in between those two stickers. Okay, that's kind of like what I'm trying to go for, just to see if it's, fun and different. This is the cool thing with this ombre, is you just get to play with the designs, and yeah, you could do stripes, you could just do the French tip, but I just wanted y'all to know that you don't have to just do the French tip. Alright, so I'm going to put these stickers on where I want them, and then here we go again. Let's get to ombreing. right, here's the final reveal. What's it gonna look like? So with this one, if you noticed, I only did 2 layers of each color for the different ombres because they're so opaque. I felt like they covered really good. I didn't have to do a 3rd layer, so that was really awesome. Oh, it's looking pretty cool. I'm so excited. So since the stickers took up too much room, I couldn't fit in a 3rd stripe in there. So it kind of looks kind of, you know, funky, but I still like it. You could probably go back in, you know, and fill, you know, the void in the middle of the nail. But hey, you could probably like put down 2 more stickers, you know, if you wanted to do the process again just to fill it in, take everything off, you know, then top coat, file everything down, and you would have kind of like 3 even stickers or 3 even stripes, if that makes sense. But hey, just for funsies of the video, I just did 2. Alright, if I get these stickers off there, of course I'll just file down my nails. I can't get up in there and get it. Alright, so that's how that one looks. It's still pretty cool, right? Still fun. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to lay down a thin layer of base all over. And then we're going to not put any powder on it. We're going to give it a cook, full 60 seconds again. And then we're going to file everything down and put on a matte top coat. Yes, how exciting. Okay, and then next we're going to move on to Dipomania's Magnetic Dip. That's right, Magnetic Dip Crescendo. And we're going to do a magnetic version of this nail. I thought it would be kind of fun to try. And I haven't done it yet, so we're all doing it here together for the first time. And let's just see how it turns out. Okay, so while that's cooking in the lamp, let's go ahead and prepare our magnetic dip powder. Kind of like we're just making like our own little magnetic polish here. Okay, so we're going to take some of Dipomania's Blossom Gel. You can also use any base gel. I just use this. I feel like it's a little bit thinner, so those magnetic particles can freely flow through there. Okay, so I just have about this much on my palette. And then I'm going to take a cuticle tool where it kind of looks like the little shovel on the end. And we're going to take just a little bit of our Crescendo, our magnetic dip, and we're going to put it into our Blossom Gel. So the trick here is, rule of thumb, less is more. Okay, so you can always add to, but you can't take away. I feel like I've said that 1,000 times, and y'all are probably like, okay, we already know this, but for all the new ones here, yes, less is more. So let's start out with a little bit of magnetic powder, because it can't be really thick. It needs to be kind of like loose and fluid like a gel polish, okay? Or those particles are not going to move and you're going to be frustrated because you're like, my magnetic powder is not working. I promise it is. It's just getting the right consistency that you like. Okay, I'm going to take one of my flathead brushes and we're going to mix up that Crescendo into that Blossom Gel. Get it all nice and mixed up in there, and it should look just like a little gel polish that we're going to paint on. Alright, here's what it's looking like. I think I like this. And so if you find if it's a little bit too thick, take a little bit of your Blossom Gel or your base gel, add another little dollop, remix it until you like it. If you find it's too thin and you need it to be a little bit thicker, put a little bit more Crescendo in there. Alright, and that's how our blue nail turned out. Pretty snazzy. Okay, so let's take a little bit of black gel polish. We're going to paint that on our little press-on nail here. We're going to give it a full cook for 60 seconds. You can use any black gel polish. I am using Dipomania's black gel polish here. I will leave everything again down below. Okay, let's give that a full cook. Okay, and now we are just going to paint on our magnetic dip powder right onto that nail. Well, okay, sorry. Let me back up. You want to go ahead and put another layer of Blossom Gel down. So this is kind of like we're going to float our little magnetic powder in this. Okay, just super thin. Don't cure it. We're going to leave it like this. Then we're going to add our magnetic little polish that we made on top. Alright, now scoop up some of that magnetic dip powder and let's just float it over our nail here. Okay, you want to be able to see all those little particles all over the nail. And then you're going to take your cat's eye magnet. Okay, and I have taken the magnet out of mine, so it's like, it looks like the rectangle, because I want to use a side of that magnet. So if you see that magnet come up, that's just what it is. I like to pop it out and use them in all kinds of different ways. Okay, so once you get that to your liking, here's where I come in with the little bar. So that's all that is. It's not a special magnet. I just popped it right out of my cat's eye tool, and then you can pop it back in. Okay, what we're trying to go for is we're trying to push those magnetics to one side and kind of keep them in the middle, or like fade them to the middle the best that we can. Once we like that, we're going to hurry up and give it a cook for 60 seconds, because if you don't, those magnetic particles are going to disperse. Okay. Alright, so this time, instead of the dip powder, how we had to file it, we don't have to do that with this one because we are using a gel polish. So let's just give it a wipe down with an alcohol pad because it is tacky. Alright, we're going to figure out which sticker we want to use. Today I'm going to use the little curvy one. We're going to lay that where we want it. Now I'm going to go back in with some black gel polish and cover up the magnetics that are below the sticker. Okay, so that's all I'm doing with that. And then we're going to cure our gel polish. 60 seconds. And then we're going to come back and we're going to lay our magnetics on the top, and we're going to do the reverse. We're going to push those magnetics to the opposite side of our nail. Once we like it, we're going to give that a cure, and then I'll be back to show you the end results. Okay, so we gave that a full cure. It's time to take off our sticker. Ooh, so that didn't come out too bad, right? Pretty cool. Okay, so this one we're not going to matte top coat. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a no wipe glossy top coat. All right, and then we're going to give that a full cook, and it's time to see all of our pretty cool nails. So what did you guys think of doing this with dip powder? Do you think it looks just like the little nail trend that's going around? I do. I think it's really, really fun. Yeah, I can't wait to do a few more. I want to do different designs, kind of like the blue one that we have here. I don't know. I might do some stripes or something, you know, mix it up, have some fun. But now we know it can be done with dip powder, and that was the whole purpose of this video. So it also can be done with odorless dip liquids and olive dip powder. So if you would like that version, let me know down below, and I'll do that video next. For all of those gel polish allergy people, I will make a full dip powder video. But all right, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.